Good morning. Today we are going to talk about worker mobility. Mainly we are going to focus on migration. Usually worker mobility is related to migration, immigration and turnover. We are going to focus only on only one part of them, which is migration. When we are going to talk about migration, we have to know that we have two different countries: sending country and receiving country. People are going to transfer from the sending country to the receiving country based on number of factors or number of determinants will affect their decision to move from their place or from their home country to the other country. What are the main determinants of worker mobility? People view mobility as an investment with an initial cost outlay with the expectations of return in the future. So this is an investment. This is based on human capital theory, which views mobility as an investment with initial costs outlay and with expected future return. So we can calculate the present value of net benefits as summation from t equal 1 to t benefits at time t divided by 1 plus discount rate to the power t minus cost. So the decision to move or even to change job from this is related to mobility in general, not migration or immigration precisely. So the decision to move from one place to another depends on the net benefit that you are going to get from this movement. BT is the increased utility or benefit that you are going to get in year T, that you are going to get from the changing job or the changing position or location or whatever. T is the time, the expected time in the new location, that you have to live in the new location or that you have to live to work in the new job, etc. R is the discount rate, and C is the utility lost in your home or your initial country or job. even if it is a psychic cost. So we have to add all of them together, add benefits or utilities gained minus utilities lost for all the discounted value, of course, for all years in order to calculate the net benefit, sorry, the present value of the net benefit. If utility derived from the new job is greater than the immediate cost, workers stay longer on the new job. If utility gains from the new job is greater than cost, of course the discounted value is greater than the initial cost, workers stay longer in the new job or the new location. As we said that we are going to focus on geographic mobility or migration. Mobility of workers among and within regions in a country and across countries is motivated by economic factors. So what is the factor that affect direction of migratory flows? Migratory flows are affected mainly by earnings. People would like to move from poor earning country or region of poor earnings to good or better opportunities. So if you study migration between countries, you can find that people are going to move from to places where full time worker earning are the highest. This means that the main reason of movement from one place to another is money, is to find a better life standard. What is the personal characteristics of the movers? Do you think anyone who would like to move from one country to another can move without any restrictions or without any conditions? Of course, no. Migration is a highly selective activity. Based on number of factors. Number one, age. This is one of the most important factors in determining who migrates. It's better to select younger workers. Younger workers have good opportunity to move from one country to another for a number of reasons. They can have a better job in the other country. They can be productive in the other country. They are going to work longer time periods, so the benefit from their investment is going to be higher than their cost. Returning back to our equation, in this case, the discounted value of the benefits is going to be greater than the initial cost or the lost utility. Another factor why younger people are more preferred is that most of the cost of migration is psychic. It's related to losses of or giving up friends, community ties, etc. And this is gonna be minimal for younger people than for old people. So this is factor number one. Number two, education. If we have a number of people at the same age group, so we can select which one of them is going to move from one country to another based on their educational level. As college degrees are more preferred. If you are a PhD holder or a master's holder, you are going to be more preferred than college degrees and so on. Do you think distance is going to affect the decision to move or not? Of course, distance will affect the decision of people to move from one country to another or not. Why? Distance will affect cost of migration. And when cost of migration increase, the flow of migrants will fall. 2 main reasons. Cost of moving increase for two for 2 main reasons. Number one, cost of acquiring trustworthy information about job opportunities is gonna be high. Time and the money cost of a move and for the trip itself back to see your friends and relatives will be high. So in this case, cost of information will be high related to whether you are going to find a good job opportunity or not. And number two, time and money cost of movement to see your relatives and friends is gonna be high. So as these costs will be high for long distance countries, so migration cost will increase and flow of migrants will decrease in this case. Another important factors that affect the decision of the migrants whether to move or not is the earning distribution in sending countries and international migration. One of the main factors, in addition to age and educational level, access to information, etc., that affect the decision to move or not is the earning distribution of sending country compared to earning distribution in the receiving country. Equality or inequality in distribution of earning in general, and equality and inequality in distribution of earning between skilled and unskilled workers. So in point number one, we would like to talk about distribution in general among total population, while in point number two, in a specific industry, distribution among skilled and unskilled workers. The more the equality of distribution, people would like to be directed to this area, whether it is their home country or the other country. This means if the sending country is more equitable in distribution of its income, in this case, people are not going to be transferred to any other country. Okay, these are the main factors that affect the decision whether to migrate or not. What about the unauthorized migration? The unauthorized migration can be divided into two categories. Number one, immigrants who enter legally but overstay or violate the provisions of their visas. Enter legally. And who are enter the country illegally or undocumented without a documentation. Many countries put many restrictions in order to forbid or to prevent the unauthorized migration and to fully control this phenomenon, as this will affect their countries negatively. There are two different points of view regarding immigration. As we said that we have illegal immigrants. What is the impact of this on the country, on the receiving country? We have two different points of view. Number one, employed illegal immigrant deprives a citizen or legal resident a job. So this is a substitution effect. Of course, the illegal immigrant will take lower wage rate, and at the same time they have the organization don't have to pay security services or insurance for this individual, so it's going to be less costly for them to employ the illegal immigrants. So in this case, illegal immigrants will cause substitution for the legal citizen, the legal people who live in this country. In another point of view, the illegal immigrants perform jobs no country citizen would like to do. So this means that they are low quality or low skilled jobs. The residents of the country won't like to do this job. As a result, we can rely on the illegal immigrants in order to do these jobs. But do you think are illegal immigrants taking away the jobs of citizens or illegal residents? This can be illustrated or explained using supply and demand curves. This is the demand for labor in any country. And this is the domestic supply curve. Point of intersection is point of equilibrium. At which this is the quantity that will be employed or the number of workers that will be employed, which is N1, and the wage rate that prevails in this market will be W1. Now let's add the illegal immigrants. So the total supply curve will shift to the right in order to include both legal and illegal immigrants. So this is total supply curve. And we have a new equilibrium point at N2. These are the number of workers actually employed, and at a wage W2, which is lower than the equilibrium wage in case of domestic supply curve. Okay, this is the total employment level, which is N2. What about the American jobs or the residents or the home countries? Let's say, for example, this is the demand for and supply for labor in United States, for example. So what is about the American residents number of employed workers actually in the market in this case? Number of employed workers in America is N3. At wage 2, only N3 workers would like to work at this level of wage rate. Total employment is N2. So the immigrants' job are N2 minus N3. So this area is the immigrant's job. So what's the loss in jobs in this market for the American residents? Before migration, employment level is N1 and now it is N3. So this is like a destroyed job or lost jobs for American citizens. So this means that migration will cause an increase in unemployment for the American citizen, or it has a negative impact on this market for the residents of the country. This is the end of our lecture today. Thank you and see you next week.